So I kind of wanted to share. I've been asking a lot of questions about where I am, where my path is, where I'm going, what I'm meant to do. Why is it that I have like almost two things that I seem to focus on, and yet nothing is really bringing a return that financially supports us? And I was trying to understand like what's going on in the world. And it was really interesting the way that my guides helped me to understand this for myself. And I wanted to share it with you because I really feel like everybody is going through this on some level. And we're all in different places. I mean, and the way that he explained it is, for instance, the land work that my husband and myself have been doing, and along with a very large community we've been blessed to be a part of. And the way that it was explained is the earth is going through, whether you believe it or not, in certain terms or how you verb it, we are going through a change. The earth is going through a change. Where globally you see it in the way the earth is reacting through storms and hurricanes and earthquakes and all sorts of stuff. Energetically, it's going through a change. Collectively, on the collective conscious, it's going through a change. And we're going through this evolutionary period. And so they were trying to explain this to me in a different way that I could understand, because I've always had this idea that, it's really just on an energetic and a physical, but never really understanding it completely. And this is the way they did it. They broke it down to, imagine, if you will, you live in a house. This is your life. You live here. You interact with your life the way that you do. And you've always done it the same way, and you were doing the same thing. But now it's time for a change, and you've decided that you want to be more connected. You want a better community. You want to work in oneness. You want new things. And you're going to go through an evolution into the new house. Well, to do this, the first thing you have to do is you have to go to the land, and you have to look at the land and evaluate, I'm going to build a new home here. And evaluate this land. What energies or pollutants, let's just say, energies, pollutants, however you want to put it, need to be removed, need to be released. And there has been people in a spiritual level that have been working on this. They've been going around clearing the land in many different forms and fashions. There's not just one way to do anything, so don't mishear that. There's lots of ways that we do this. There are a lot of people that have been going around clearing the lands. So you go in, you have your piece of property, you're going to clear the land. You're going to check it for pollutants. What's here? What needs to be released? What energies need to go away? And then once those energies have gone away, you have to start building the foundations. And this is where the land work that I've been working on does, is we'll go into an area and we'll clear out the energies that are no longer supporting or would no longer be supportive of the new house we want to build, let's just say. And once those pollutants or those energies are released, we can move on to a place that now it's time to lay the grid work, the foundation, if you will. And so we're putting in new transmitters that will bring in the code, or receivers that will receive these codes into the land to help refertilize, give new energy, give new life to the land, that will support the new belief systems, will support the new changes, will support the new house. And so we're building the foundation, we're putting in the grid works, we're putting in the activations, we're putting in the different things that are needed to support the foundation of this new home. And then you've got, before, we got too far in, the house that's, if there's been any structures that are there, those structures have to be broken down. They have to be demolished. They have to be changed, because you can't build a new society, a new way, a new earth with the old structures. And so we see those changes happening with political, environmental, energetic, spiritual, social, just so many different ways that these structures are breaking down, and we're seeing that now. We're seeing a lot of angst and division and separation and fighting. This is the breaking down of the old ways so that the new way can come in. And demolition, if anybody's ever gone through remodeling in their house, they've ever built something and they've seen something come through, it's not pretty. And it's definitely not comfortable. And it can be difficult. But what you focus on during those processes, and this is really important because this is what we need to do as a human race right now, is they focus on the joy, the happiness, the excitement of where we're going, of knowing that this may be going through a really difficult time. We've got, dust everywhere and dirt and debris and things are breaking and falling all around us, but we get really excited about what we're building and where we're going. And the focus is just so exciting. It's easier to just almost not even see what's being demolished around you because you could just see what's coming. And so right now, it's really important for all of us, no matter what we see that we disagree with, we don't like, we're not comfortable with, it's like really important that we just ignore that as much as you can. I mean, I don't mean be in complete ignorance of what's happening in your space, but give your focus to, this is a good thing. This is process. This is change. This is evolution. And this is taking us where we all want to be. We all want to live in a heaven on earth, let's just say. And so the demolition crew is out there and they're working in a lot of different ways. And then you have, the framing crew that's going to be coming in and building these structures, and they're starting to go, all right. And the planners and the ones who are drawing up the blueprints, and they're going, this is what we want. This is what we want to see. This is how we want to live. This is how we want to be in connection. And it's just really beautiful because it's the dreamers and the visions and the joy that move us where we're going. And it's really beautiful. So keep your joy going. Keep your dreaming going. But then, if you will, if you've ever watched one of these shows that, they come in and they restructure a house for somebody and they move them back in and the people get the key and they're overwhelmed with how beautiful and how amazing and how fabulous this new home is. But then they go back into this house in this new home and they don't know how to care for it. They don't know how to be in this new home in a new way. They only know their old ways, and so they bring those with them, and then they just recontaminate the house all over again. Recontaminate is probably not the right word, but you understand what I'm saying. And so this is where I see myself and others have a role to help us learn how to actually accept those new keys and give us the skills so that when the house is ready, when our new earth is ready and we step into it, we know how to live in it. We know how to care for it. We know how to love it. We know how to be a part of it. And so a lot of the teachings that my guides are doing are very strongly about joy, because joy is what gets us through the destruction. I mean, it is the remodeling structure, let's just say. And a lot of it is about how we have to change our belief systems. We have to understand how what we believe creates what we have. Because my guides have said it over and over, and I'll see if I can phrase it the way they say it. They're like, the universe will support whatever you believe. And so you have to be attentive to what you believe. And so a lot of what they're teaching is ways to release judgment, ways to release fear, ways to live in community and connection, way to view things in different ways. One of the more recent classes that they did, they talked about how everything has a perspective, truth has a perspective, and you sit in the middle and you can see the truth is here and the data is here, but you cannot see from all sides. We can't, unless we are learned to be the truth, we can't see from all sides of it. And it's just, at this point in our evolution, this is not where we are. And so they're trying to help us to learn how there can be so many perspectives over one little thing, and everybody can see the same thing, but we can see it in a multitude of ways. And so they're teaching us how to stop judging that this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad. We can understand that this is my perspective and this is how I view things, and that's your perspective and that's how you view things, and we can learn to respect one another. We don't have to always agree, but we can respect, and that's important. So there's a lot of things that my guides are here to do, and it is to help us to learn to build, let's say, the framework within our own individual beings. So in this new way of living, this, whether you call it 5D or heaven on earth or the golden age, as this age is being built and being supplied, we actually have the tools to step into it with open hearts and connection so that we can live in it the way that it's meant to be. And for me, I found that really beautiful to understand that just like building a home, there are so many crews. There's the people who will go out and evaluate the land. There's those that clean up the land. There's those that break down the foundations, build the new foundations. There's the frame workers, the dreamers. There's the plumbers, the electricians. There are so many parts of this, and everybody has a part. And if you don't know what your part is, it doesn't matter. But if you are here on earth right now, you are a part of this. And dreaming and living in joy and trying to be attentive to understanding new perspectives in new ways is so important. I mean, without the dreamers and without the joy, we can't get through the demolition, and we can't get to the other side. And it takes everyone, every being, and their perspectives and their ways to build this. It takes the entire crew with all the different trades and all the different ways and all the different things that they bring. And I'm just so blessed that I can be here during this time. And I feel really honored that I understood this in a new perspective today. And I just felt it was really important to share because I really think it's quite beautiful, and it does help to understand when you can kind of put it in a human perspective that we can understand. So sending you so much love, so much joy, and no matter where you are in your life and what's going on, find your joy. Follow your joy, expand your joy, and dream of a world that we all live in connection. So much love.